Hey everyone, welcome back to the Old Music Matters in That podcast. I'm your host, Brian. Today we welcome the boys, also in Connecticut as well, from the boys from Nameless. Let's see. Jason.
Yeah, that's me.
Jason. All right, Chandler.
Hi.
All right, Ethan. And Cameron. From the band Nameless. How you boys doing today?
Pretty good.
Yeah.
I would say we're all doing great.
To be honest with you, yeah.
Definitely.
Actually, you guys are real good friends with Cujo and Neurotic.
Yes. We're pretty good friends with them. The frontman from Neurotic, we went to school. Me and Chandler and Cameron went to school with him, and he found his own path. And Cujo, we met at our show in Alston with also with Neurotic. So yeah, we've been pretty good friends with Neurotic for a while, and Cujo, we kind of just met, but we hit it up pretty well, and sometimes we hang out.
I did ask, was it one of their interviews you saw later on my YouTube or Spotify pages? Is that how you found out, or did they tell you about me?
So Sam actually came by my place about like maybe a week and a half ago, and he brought up that they actually had an interview with you. I'm like, oh, that's so cool. Actually, like, it's really cool. And he just basically said like, hey, Brian's really looking for other acts from smaller local places. I'm like, I should want to message him just to see if we could do anything with you. Like, seriously, like, we love doing what we do.
Yeah.
I'd say one wish granted today.
Yeah. Yeah.
So I guess what you boys been up to recently, because I think I saw Nate and Trevor, but I guess they had the band Neurotic doing a little Facebook reel and they were beating up on Nate, but I think they were doing some little sneak peeks about some shows they're doing soon. I guess you guys are part of it?
Yeah. April 18th, we're doing a show, local Chubby Dog, and that's going to be with Cujo, I believe, and that's going to be really fun. We've been in touch with the Chubby Dog, local coffee bar place, and they're really cool people down there too, and it's always fun. We played there a couple of times before. It's really fun. The owner's great. Drinks are amazing. Like, the service is just awesome over there. Shout out Adam and Ryla. They're really cool.
Chubby Dog.
Yeah.
Well, I guess it's not the most oddest name I've heard, but hey, whatever.
Yeah.
So, all right, that sounds cool. So, the boys, welcome to my podcast right here. And the way it's going to work is just want to ask you guys some questions. Let's get to know who you guys are, both as the musicians, but also as the individuals as well here too. So, you all ready for this?
Yes.
Definitely.
We cue the music. Da, 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 da. All right. I actually went to a Pirates game today. That was a little bit traumatic, to say the least. I needed it right now because even though they won, it was one of those you won in the most ass way possible. So
Yeah.
All right. So I guess the way I'll do it is, Jason, you can start, and then we'll just go down the line with Jason, Chandler, Ethan, and Cameron. Sound good?
Sounds good.
Yep.
All right. So Jason, to kick it off right here, tell us your backstory. What role do you play in the band, and how did you become a musician?
Yeah. All right. So, just grew up here in Thompson, Connecticut, kind of just, quiet town, nothing ever really going on. Went through the entire school system, normal kid. And just grew up, around music, as well as race cars. Thompson, they have the speedway there. So it's kind of just been like the mix of my like growing up life. So like, I guess like I kind of found it out a little bit late that I really wanted to like just do music because, race cars, they're a little expensive to do, but when you find out that you can sing and it's kind of free career right there. So I just was like, let's try this out. Went into chorus my freshman year. Started to like kind of hone on my voice and stuff, and who's, I guess you could say, classically trained, you know, choral kind of stuff. I grew up with like a mix of music, really. Like I was really into, you know, classic rock growing up with like Creedence Clearwater Revival, Led Zeppelin, Elvis Presley, you know, all those greats. And then my brother, on the other hand, he was showing me Linkin Park, Disturbed, Deftones, Breaking Benjamin, all the like really heavy stuff. And I'm like, man, this is all really fun stuff. And then kind of went into like a little rut in my life, and like in the middle of high school, as everyone does. And this guy right here, he took me out for lunch one day. You know, we weren't really close, but he was just like, "Hey, you want to hang out?" And then I was like, "Yeah, why not? He might murder me." But I was like, you know, take a chance. You know, I got nothing going on. So he talks to me like he's self-training on drums, and I'm like, I'm like training with my voice right now, and a little bit of guitar. And were we in a guitar class together?
I think we were. Yeah.
Yeah. So okay, we kind of knew each other.
Kind of.
We were in a guitar class together. So we go out for lunch. He tells me that he was in a band called Kings of the Black Cross. What a cool band name.
You brought this up.
But I recently just got out of like a idea of a band called what was it? It was like Eyes of Enemies. That didn't turn out really well, so we were kind of just like, and we were like, hey, well, you know, drums, guitar, sing, you know, let's start something. And we started off with our friend Alex, this other guy, forgot his name, and Frank, and that we were like a 4 or 5 piece band for a little bit. And the original name was High Voltage because I was like, I like that song from Linkin Park, so High Voltage it is. Yeah. That didn't really work out, so we just kind of joked, well, let's be nameless for a bit. 8 years later.
8 years later. Yeah.
They were still stuck with his name.
Yeah.
Well, we're still nameless, I guess you could say.
Yeah.
We are the nameless ones in this case.
Yeah.
I can say what.
Yeah. So
I guess I'll go next.
Yeah.
Actually, real quick, I wanted to ask the South Park stereotype for race car drivers. Is it you had to be poor, young, and stupid and white?
Yep.
I guess.
Yeah, really. Was gonna go down that route. I actually bought like a race car for $500, no engine in it. I thought, yeah, I could get an engine for it. Sat in the garage for like 5 or 6 years. Then my dad was like, all right, getting rid of this thing. And then like, all right, I got a band. I'll do it later on.
We'll use the money to buy some gear later.
Yeah.
But he scrapped it for free. That's something I'm still like about. But whatever.
Yeah.
He's still like, you son of a bitch.
Yeah. Real.
Yeah. Actually, Jason, did you say you were the front man of the group?
You know, yes. When the band first started, I really wanted to go with the ideology that there was like no leader, no front man or anything. Like, because, you know, with a band, I like, it's just the term frontman feels really weird to me. Like, you know, it takes the 4 of us to make what we do. And it's very, I feel like no one should really have the spotlight. Everyone should have the spotlight. And it's something that I feel weird with saying I'm the front man, but when you really put it us on stage, I'm in front, I'm a man, I'm a front man.
Yes. He sings. He has a voice.
I talk.
Yeah.
The general terminology is vocalist in this case. So.
I am the vocalist of the
There we go. All right, I love that. All right, Chandler. Now you can go. There you go.
So, as what he was saying, like, yeah, like we started pretty like early on our high school, but where I started to really like music was from people that were showing me random bands or songs. So like that was mostly my mother who really got me into music. And I grew up with like I would say like, you know, like Daughtry, The Fray, mostly like the Google Dolls. So when I was in middle school, I think I found or I knew of the band of Green Day, and I loved Trey Cruel. And I had I had a uncle who was really good at drumming, and he was a self-taught drummer, and I just really loved that idea. I was into music. I really loved drumming, and that's when, yeah, as what Jason said, I formed a band in middle school that didn't last long, but I truly just wanted to practice drumming and learn drumming, and that really got me to get interested more into how the drums in songs are put into context on like for music. So I started really like maybe 14, 15, and I've been starting to drum and grew my gear over time. When I got my first kit in maybe 2020, and over time I just gotten better and better and better with the music that we play. I love the style that we do. I love that we can go to hard rock, to metal, to like lo-fi at times with Ethan's guitar riffs that he makes. But as a drummer for Nameless, or on quote being a drummer, it's fun. As I've said this into a video before, I just hit cymbals and just drums. Am I talented? Kinda. But then when you kind of look into our music, I think it pops off.
Yeah.
Like you look at other bands like Cujo and Neurotic, they're amazing. Great.
Yeah. Very talented.
Even when we did the Austin show, Cujo's first show was there, and they did a killing job. Yeah. So I think drumming, I love to connect with drummers. I love to talk about music with everybody that we meet. And with the connections that I love talking to, even with music or drumming, I just love to talk about who was the person that you looked up to the most. I looked up into a lot of people that I loved. Trey Cool was one of them that I first started to like his drumming, his punk style in the 80s and the early 2000s I loved. But music, I've listened to a bunch, like metal, rock, like it. You name it, I probably have listened to it, and I loved it.
Yeah.
You do strike me like you were trying to grow a mohawk back in high school there.
I had kind of like the Trey Cool hairstyle in middle school.
Yeah.
Like that. You got me there, yeah.
Actually, I wonder if you had to go back in time and be like, don't get that mohawk back in middle school right there. It took forever for my hair to grow back. So,
yeah.
All right. And I guess Ethan? Spoiler alert, the guitar player.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Who is this guy?
Courtesy of Chandler. But anyway,
yeah, I had to spoil it.
Sorry.
God.
But
Gosh.
My background is it's a lot. Like, because when I think about it, like when these guys were just talking about it, like, and their background, I was trying to like form words that would we're trying to like explain how mine started. And I guess like the earliest I can remember is like elementary school, when you're like forced to play the recorder. And then after that, middle school was like, I always had the appreciation for saxophone. And so I played saxophone in school for about 3 years. And then my mom was like, all right, Ethan, it's either guitar or saxophone. You can't have both. So make a decision now. And so I'm like, all right, well.
It's an Ethan's choice.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, so I did do guitar, and I did lessons for oh my god, 6-7 years. And after that, it was kind of like I just kept really liking taking chords that my teacher would show me and trying to like find like what works with it. And I always just tried to explore with what he taught me. And I used to do that with saxophone too. Because like even like before like a concert in middle school, like me and my friend would just go back and forth and be like, "Oh, can you play this?" It's just like some random notes that we just play, and you know, or like just like something that we thought would sound cool, and we're like, well, obviously not. But it was always it. I don't know. I think it was just always fun for me to mess around with a bunch of instruments like that, because I always loved a lot of like that very free style. And what really got me into wanting to do guitar was I have this very vivid memory. I think I was at my uncle's Thanksgiving, probably, I don't even know at this point, shoot, 6 or so years ago. And I was just like, "Hey Dad, look at this cool solo." And it was Letter Experiment by Periphery. And it was this amazing solo that they played after Spencer Satellis says "Disappear," and then Misha Mansour comes in with this killer riff. And I'm like, I want to be able to do that one day. I want to have like this amazing emotional riff or a guitar solo that would just be like, you know, just like really inspire people. And that's kind of like at the end of the day, like what I wanted to do when I joined this band, when Jason and Chandler gave me the opportunity, was just to kind of create it and make it have like, yeah, my own feeling, add like my own personality into it, and just add to what they were already doing. And you know, what I saw from them, the emotions I saw, it was amazing. So it was perfect.
I was curious if Uncle knew what Periphery was. You'd be like, "What the hell is that, son?" That sort of deal. So, all right. And Cam, what's your story?
All right. So when I was young, I used to mainly just listen to like dubstep, EDM, and stuff. And then when I got into middle school, is when I met Jason, and he actually introduced me to all this new kind of music. And I was like, "Oh my God, this stuff is amazing." He was showing me classic rock, metal, and just all this different kind of stuff. And that's when I started to actually like enjoy listening to different kinds of music. And that's basically just when my life started to turn around with music. And eventually when I got into high school, I actually took a guitar class, and that's when I started to learn about music. I started learning about like music theory, all about like chords and stuff. And I didn't really play guitar that often. The only time I kind of played it was in guitar class. But eventually after high school, I kind of just joined the band, and we all kind of just usually have our like own ideas, but we all like bring the ideas together. We just make music and stuff. And ever since I joined the band is basically when I started playing bass, and I just enjoy playing bass. I just love the tone and everything that the bass makes. I just love how we all can connect with ideas and just make a song out of it. It's, I don't know, bass is just amazing.
He's not at gunpoint. I can promise you.
Yes,
Cameron is not giving you a scripted answer.
I don't know. I'm seeing Chandler with the hands behind there too. Little pistol action going on there. That's all good though too. So, all right, I can see what you mean. Okay, So I guess let's go and jump into Nameless here too. So it seemed like it would mainly start with Chandler and Jason. I guess
Yeah.
you guys all just met in school one day and just said, "Hey, let's form a band." Or
So there's a lot more stuff to us forming, but we won't get into everything. It was truly weird. Jason and I really had a connection with music. Like we both loved music.
Yeah.
Like I knew him as a mutual friend. I had a other friend who I was more close, but now it's funny enough is Jason's more my friend now, and my other friend now is my mutual friend. So we just got to really just talk one day, and I knew his past a little bit. I knew how he felt, but we connected with the music a lot. I knew he loved Linkin Park. And basically, not to say or quote this, but yes, we started in 2017.
That's a shocker.
Yeah. It wasn't because of Chester's death, but it got us to be more closer, and the reason because of their music being so good, he looked up to Chester and Linkin Park, and I kind of will look at it as like, hey, I'm a drummer, you are a singer, hey, let's start a band. Like we love music. As he said like earlier also, like we had a few mutual friends also, or friends in general, that started with us. We just grew and grew and grew over time to become who we are now. Like, I feel like we're more capable of going on stage now and being absolutely knowing what we want to do, what we are, and we stay to that. We don't try to change for other people. We want to do what we want to do, and we stick to that.
For sure.
Yeah, I want to add we had friends come and go. Like me and Chandler, like we're still the original members from when the band formed. But like we're still that, like the original idea is still there, where we just want to make music that we feel in the moment. And it's really cool because like it's just weird because like being a local band, like we've been a band for like 8 years, and we're just now like starting this stuff. Like our first show was just a couple of years ago in 2023. When we first started in 2017, and it's just like it's just crazy, and it's crazy that we started. Band practices were after school for 30 minutes because of after school music club. He didn't have a drum set.
I didn't have a drum set.
They had a microphone that I connected to a guitar amp, and we just went at it. And not just the two of us showed up anyway out of 5. So it's like it's just, you know, just for being still small, like still feels like we've come a long way since then.
We mostly took every chance that we got. I would stay at Dunkin' Donuts for hours because at the time I was already out of high school and he was still in high school. So I would stay at Dunkin' Donuts near our high school for hours on end to just see him for 30 minutes.
Because he got a special pass from the teacher to come in after school.
But like practices like kind of were longer and longer and longer when we were able to see each other after school in general, when we drove, when we were able to have more free time. Like the struggles, I didn't drive until like maybe last year. So
I've been drunk. There's a lot of holes in this story that we got to fill in.
It's a lot of like you wouldn't understand without the context.
Actually, we consider like a Quentin Tarantino sort of movie. It's always like we jump to this scene, then we jump to this after.
I know.
It all comes together at the end right there too, at the Dunkin' Donuts coffee shop. Oh, it all makes sense at the end.
Oh, this is where he jumped to.
Actually, speaking of which, did Neurotic, pretty much with all the guys in that band, as well as Sam from Cujo, did any of them kind of help you guys out too?
Neurotic.
So more funny stories here. So Nate was like in the band.
Oh god, here we go again.
For a couple times.
I was just starting to get to the hangover right here before you know it.
Nate was in the band a couple times, and like you know their style. They're very thrashy, like
definitely
metalcore.
like that underground punk kind of thing.
Yeah, and so like it didn't really fit with what we were trying to do. So Nate and I, like we or Nate and us, we kind of just like parted ways. But but he says, or he at least said to us, like, man, if it weren't for you guys, I wouldn't have met friggin' Hunter,
yeah,
and who was also in the band for like a second. And they kind of started their own thing, and so Nate kind of like paid it back by giving us the what was the first show we played with them?
That was
the
technically
the New Hampshire show,
the Pepper.
That they gave us,
show. Yeah. So they gave us that, and then we gave them Chubby Dog a couple times. Yeah, we kind of just been paying each other back, helping each other out, like kind of get more up there, you know?
Yeah.
We should almost call it like the NFL of the underground scene, to be honest.
Yeah.
That
Nate
is
from Neurotic drafted the Nameless.
That was like head coaching positions, actually, when you think about it.
That is literally my goal for us to be one of the key members of Connecticut to make a scene.
Yeah.
Yeah, it kind of like you look at the Seattle grunge scene. You got Nirvana, Soundgarden, Alice in Chains, and then the Connecticut scene is Nameless, Neurotic, and Cujo. That's I don't know.
Our plan.
Yeah.
Our plan. Whatever happens, happens.
Yes.
Our diabolical plan for world domination.
It will be mine.
Actually, we should say world recognition at this point. So.
World recognition.
Yes.
There we go. That's a little bit better. So.
A little bit.
Domination. Domination. Actually, cue the Morbid Angel song, "We Will Dominate."
I was thinking of Pantera.
That too, yes.
Yeah.
Someone agreed upstairs, so yeah. Someone was knocking. So yeah.
Oh no, it's the ghost.
Yeah.
You know, yeah.
Okay. All right. But nonetheless, the way you guys kind of been describing your music, it seems like you guys go into the Linkin Park sort of style, or is it kind of a blend of other genres?
So what we have, like, all four of us all have very I wouldn't say, we all have our different tastes, and like with Chandler, like I don't like Green Day, but Chandler does. Cameron likes EDM. I really don't. Like stuff like that. Like we all have like our own preferences. Like me and Jason definitely grew up way more similar because we've been just obviously.
He's my cousin, by the way.
Yeah, he's my cousin. If you didn't know.
I kind of in 2004 when he kind of like.
Yes. So I grew up with his brother as well. So his brother would also like show us Rick and Benjamin, like he said. But I was mostly connected with like the Periphery, like a lot more prog gent style. Like Periphery, the Contortionists are all bands that I look up to, and me and Jason both have seen Periphery and Contortionists in concert. I know they have seen Avenged Sevenfold.
No. It was Five Finger Death Punch.
Five Finger Death Punch. Yeah, sorry.
And
The Who.
Fire from the Gods.
Yeah, Fire from the Gods.
Fire from the Gods.
Beautiful.
Yeah.
But
and Megadeth.
Whoever they are.
Yeah.
Hey, watch your language there, buddy. Actually, I would say I did see Megadeth with All That Remains and Mudvayne, so I can't complain about that.
Mudvayne. Cool.
All That Remains is sick.
Yeah.
I actually made like a nice little YouTube short with like Phil Screen when he's doing 6, I believe. I think it's the opening of 6 or This Calling. It's one of those two.
I think it's 6. Yeah, I think I know what you're talking about.
That's it.
Oh yeah. Even though Mudvayne is well past their prime, I mean, hey, I still saw them. I'm happy.
Yeah.
At this point,
They were sick though.
Jack Gray still got it. He one bad motherfucker. So yeah. All right. What was Sol gonna say something else? I didn't mean to interrupt.
I was gonna say that you wanted to have us, like you were saying about how we talk about our music. It's kind of funny at times if you listen to us play. At times you can kind of like hear like death tones, like how we we are into death tones a lot.
For sure.
I at times with like my drumming or Ethan's guitar play, you can like there's times that we play something so similar to was it Walk by Pantera?
I know there was we had like a very Gojira-esque riff at one point.
If Gojira and Pantera kind of fused, kind of thing.
So
it never made it into being an actual song, but we
no.
were playing around and recorded it, and it was really cool.
Yeah. I forgot what we called that. I think we
grunt.
No,
it was like
goddamn.
Yeah, goddamn.
It's like, damn, that is good. Never use it.
Yeah, when we make a lot of projects that we know we won't use, we just call it some random thing that's like the top of our head at first. Like we had, I think I made a song that I knew we weren't gonna use, and I literally named it my name. I called it Ethan, and I was like, I know we're not gonna use this. I made this. I'm just for fun, whatever. I'm gonna show them this, see what they think. It's not gonna fly with them. I already know it. I'm like stuff like that. It's just we like to we also like to mess around with each other like that too, though.
Mm-hmm.
Just call songs just random stuff. We had a song called Tom Green for no good reason.
Yeah.
Okay.
It just sounded like a guy.
Yeah,
It sounded like a decent name in my own opinion.
It just went with it.
Yeah, we just went with it.
When I named it, I thought of Tom Sawyer.
Tom Sawyer?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah! Rush.
Yeah, and then we also had a song that we just named Heavy. And that was it.
Hard, just hard, heavy.
Hard, heavy.
Evil.
Yeah, evil.
I mean, evil's like a title, though. Like,
True, but...
I mean, there's Diamond Head with Am I Evil? So
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, exactly.
which Metallica covered, and then there's that one too. So
Yo.
Actually, the way you're kind of describing Linkin Park earlier too, I was just thinking like I'm seeing Jason and Chandler just going around, and Jason's like doing all the jumps you saw what Chester was doing in Paper Cut, for instance.
Yes, exactly. I mean, like, you could really, I mean, in my head, you know, I really contribute this band becoming a thing because of Linkin Park. Like, I was just always grew up with them, and they were always like something in my life, you know, with the early 2000s Linkin Park AMVs with Dragon Ball Z and everything.
Yeah.
That's you watch one of those, that's exactly what my childhood was. So just growing up with it, and like with Chester's passing and everything, that had such an impact on me that like that year was just me like trying to process that and going through probably the first hardest thing in my life, I would say.
Yeah.
So the band was like literally made on that. So like when you put that kind of emotion and the ability to make art together, that's like literally what this band was made off of, in my opinion, at least. And it's just been going ever since. So it's, but there's been a lot of different inspirations that came with that. Excuse me. But Burger King is coming back. But yeah. But like we've had so many different like phases of the band. Like it started with, you know, Chandler and I trying to be like the Mike and Chester kind of like dynamic, which I'd say we still have.
Oh yeah,
we definitely like, you know, just pass ideas back and forth together, and hang out, you know, just be friends, and that's what they had. And it's just like we started with that, and then I'd say 2018, 19 was like, I'd say like that's when the band kind of became just the two of us for a little bit. So we kind of had like a little 21 Pilots kind of thing going on. Like he was just the instrumentalist and I was just the singer.
I was gonna say, like, I was the guitarist, drummer,
bassist, producer,
kind of
Did
did vocals.
Yeah, did vocals, co-vocalist. He was literally,
As Jason says, I am nameless.
yeah. I mean, yeah, for a while he was just the guy that was making all the instrumentals while I just wrote the lyrics. And I mean, if it wasn't for him, there would be no Nameless today.
Yeah.
So, and then Ethan joined in 2020, 2021. That's when it like just skyrocketed into,
Oh yeah.
like, all right, now Chandler has a place. He can be the drummer. Ethan can be the guitarist. I can be the singer. Like we started to make the foundations of what it is today. And wouldn't have done it without the inspiration of Linkin Park and what they did, really.
That's just almost like as soon as you got Chandler on drums, you were like, thank God.
Yeah, like
Thank you.
I can't make Chandler be three people at once.
There's such a thing as cloning these days, so you think we should do that instead?
Hey, let's not talk about that yet.
Time to whip out the drum machine.
The drum machine.
You do that, you're fired.
Boy.
All right.
Kicked.
And, so I think it jumps into COVID here next, but it seems like you brought Ethan on between like 2020 and 2021 there too. But
Yeah.
was it more of a blessing in disguise for you guys, or how bad was it for you personally,
It
wise,
was-
family, and everything else?
So for me, it was really weird because I think I had a really bad month during COVID. And I believe during that very bad month is when me and Jason really started to have me being in the band a lot more serious. Like we were talking way more about it.
Mhm.
Oh yeah.
And it being a very bad month, I was just like very angry, upset, and really just in a bad spot. So a lot of my focus was just mostly about the music that we were making at the time. I remember during it, Jason and Chandler would very, very occasionally meet up and start working on more stuff. And when they were working on more stuff, a reason why it was so bad was because I was literally stuck at my dad's house for a month straight, and I did not like it. I was losing my mind because it was like nothing to do.
No Wi-Fi.
No Wi-Fi. like no. Okay, it wasn't just that. It wasn't.
I'm
Just
deprived of
that.
my iPhone, man. Where's my Facebook and all my Call of Duty
I need to look
online
at
multiplayer
that.
shit going on?
Yeah.
Wow.
We get existential because we can't do our Call of Duty multiplayer anymore. So, yeah.
No, it was more than that.
It was definitely more than that.
Yeah, I had a really bad relationship thing happen. But no, it was so during that time they were making music, and I wasn't allowed to go. And so what I would do was on my phone, I downloaded BandLab because that's what they were making music on. And I was just going on my phone and just editing and like doing a bunch of like there'll be behind the scenes and music stuff for them, and like adding like different ideas. Like there would be like some loops that you can find on there, and I was like, hey, what if we add this but like heavily edit it and make it sound like this, or how about we actually like let this fade into that kind of thing. And it was just really a lot of that, like just putting our minds on that for, I'd say a lot of like a good portion of the COVID stuff was just us really trying, because we were working on our second EP.
First EP.
It was first going into second. Though.
First going into second, I believe.
The first EP was 2021, so that's when I was like, "Yo, you should learn tearing," and that being our first song we ever made, it was a really important one for us for Ethan to learn, because our first song ever made. It was the first 2 chords we ever learned in guitar class, A minor and E minor, because they're the easiest chords. And I was like, "Yo, what if we made this a song?"
Yeah.
And yeah, like
Genius.
literally.
The perfect idea.
But then Ethan, like, when I showed him how I would do it, he took it and just put his own personality into it, which made it literally a different song.
We literally hated the version that we were making.
Yeah.
And he literally like came in, and I think you were like, what if you did this pattern or strum this different way? And then we're like, that's our favorite new song.
yeah. And the first EP was just a melting pot of like, this is what we were doing before Ethan. This is what we did with Ethan. And the songs with Ethan is definitely a little different than the songs. Either I was on guitar, he was on drums, I did an attempt at bass, and then we attempted producing it and putting it all together with this free website. And that's the first EP.
From the struggles that I knew of when we were in COVID, yes, it was like getting together, but did it affect us personally? I think for timing and stuff and placing, like, we didn't, because I don't even remember. Were you still in high school?
Yeah, so I stayed back a year, and 2020 was like going to be my year of graduation, which it was and ended up being. But it just like threw everything off so much.
Yeah.
And I mean, it gave us more free time to think about what we wanted to do with the band. And what we wanted to...
I think in a disguise, the time was really good because we, on our first EP, learned how to like produce and ish. But the first EP, was rushed and was literally rough on every level you can think of, on our quality, on every drums, vocals. So I think in COVID it did help and not help, because I did remember a few times that we just wanted to put music out. Did COVID affect that? Because we started in like what? It was like maybe 6 months. We did everything.
Yeah, it was like...
It was less than a year, I think.
So, COVID, at least for me, like, you made me realize that I want to put out music so bad. Like,
and that's why we did it rushed.
Like, we made the band in 17. We were going to say 18's our year, 19's our year, 20's our year. Uh-oh. And then...
Hold up. Wait a minute.
Wait a second. And then 21, we were like, all right, I just want to put something out there. Like, there was no deadline or anything, but I just wanted to put it out there so bad. So I was telling the guys, rush, let's get this out.
I don't care if it sucks.
Jason says there wasn't
personality.
Jason says that there wasn't a deadline, but you had to be there to really feel that Jason had a deadline. He's like, no, guys, I don't want it to be rushed, but I want this shit done now. And I'm like, yes, sir.
I'm not giving you a deadline, but I'm telling you I'm giving you a deadline.
Okay. So literally one song on there, you told me you need to finish it.
The whole, if you were to give us just a very small thing to describe how Jason felt about getting these EPs out, it would just be get it out. It's Jason wanted that shit out more than he wanted air. It didn't, it literally, it didn't matter. He wanted, he would be guys, whatever we make, we're recording that shit, and we're recording that shit, and we're gonna do drums, guitar. We're gonna edit it a little bit, but I want that shit out immediately. So,
and it wasn't terrible.
Like, some of the production was not bad.
Yeah, so some of it it wasn't bad.
Like, all right, so sorry about this, but recently we pulled all the EPs off of like streaming services and YouTube and stuff because I realized maybe that shouldn't have been released.
Yeah.
The first EP definitely.
Yeah, the first
second EP I'd say also.
Yeah, for sure. But at the same time, a lot of it like sorry, like we are a band of yappers. But it's just like
Do tell.
Yeah. But a lot of what we also were going through were a lot of those natural like growing pains where it was like we don't want to like in the moment it was just like do this now, learn from it after kind of thing.
Yeah.
And like
Shoot first, ask questions later. So yeah.
Yeah. And that's what a lot of it was. And like during those times it's like I was kind of like iffy on it. Like I was still in high school for sure. Like I graduated class of 23. And it was like during those times it's like I was trying to take more music classes. During like those times of like learning from my music classes I'd also bring to the band some of those things were like I was doing music tech, I was doing music theory, and then I think I even did music tech too. Like I was just trying to like learn how to produce because I knew like that was a huge thing for us at the time was like we need to learn how to produce things. Like we needed to know how to like mix this at least decent enough so like we can, you know, actually make it like listenable and have it leveled out. So that was like a lot of it, and it still like was rough here and there, but it was definitely like during that time definitely like a huge growth that at least I personally saw from like the sounds that we were making and how we were approaching recording. At least was a lot it was a lot more different than how these two were originally doing it.
Actually, what year did Cam join officially? Was it in around COVID as well, or a little before it?
This is actually last year you joined.
Yeah, about a year ago is when I exactly joined, because I'm pretty sure I joined like near the beginning of April of last year.
Man, he's a late bloomer.
Yeah.
He's the youngest of the group.
Yeah. Not age-wise, but like playing music and stuff.
Pick up the bass, doing a little finger slapping and all that stuff. So yeah.
You're the bass. You got it easy, man. No,
Yeah.
what we like to have with Cameron is what I like the most about having him at least is just the fact that he also adds a lot of personality to our music as well. Like not even just like, you know, he's the bass, obviously he's gonna add something to it. But like just the way he also approaches things as well.
As they chicks are digging the bass and the drummers these days, so you better watch out there, Ethan. So
Yeah.
that it always seems like there's a couple extroverted guys, there's the in between guy, then there's that one quiet kid. So yeah.
Oh yeah, he's the quiet kid. You gotta be.
So, yeah.
You watch out for him.
Yeah.
Be silent but deadly. So,
Yeah.
Yeah.
For real.
But on a serious note, were you guys affected by COVID? Did you get real sick? Were you and your families okay?
I was never sick.
Yeah, I never got it, but let's pretend this desk is wood. Never got it. I'm good.
I had it after it was a big deal.
And yeah, my family, they had it once or twice. My brother, oh my god, he was a COVID magnet. I think he got it like 3 times.
Yeah.
But everybody made it out safe. My family's good. I think everybody's family did pretty good.
I mean, I actually, I think I was maybe one of the first few people that actually probably might have got COVID in Connecticut, because there was one point where I was just sick for just like 2 or 3 weeks straight, and I had like all the symptoms of COVID. And then a little bit after I had it, my parents got COVID also. So
yeah, I remember school and everything. Like, there was a point in like December of 2019 where it was like the school turned into a wasteland. Everybody was so sick.
Oh yeah, everyone was just getting sick.
Like every teacher was out basically, and it was scary. Like everybody was getting this unknown respiratory disease with no known cause, and then March came around. They were like, coronavirus.
Yeah.
Stay in your house.
Stay in your house, 6 feet apart.
It was really cool.
No touchy. No touchy. So, yeah.
It was really funny how I even really learned about COVID, because in 9th grade it was literally like a rainy day, absolute pitch dark, like it was like really like, you know, a serious mood and everything. And I'm like, I walk into school like normal and everything like that. And then my first class, it was science class. And this is, I don't even know, but like I was just getting used to it, because I was also like I transferred over to this high school a little bit late, and I was just getting used to it. And he just comes in one day, and it was just like, so this is what this disease is, and I'm like,
he knew it before everybody else did.
Yeah, well, he was just kind of explaining like, this is what this kind of virus is, and I was like, oh, all right. And then the next day, it was, you know, then I saw it like everywhere, and I'm like, oh shit, what the, like, where the fuck did this come from? But
It must be an epidemic.
yeah,
Might
like,
be.
it's like, damn. Oh, so that's what's going on. Okay.
When it happened, like it was like 2-week vacation, guys. And Cameron and I were like, "Yo, 2-week Minecraft world, let's do it!"
Yeah.
And we played on it for like months, and it was the best Minecraft world in a long time.
2 weeks off was a blessing, but also like it was also the start of something absolutely fucking.
Our Cameron and I's English teacher, she actually said, "All right, we're doing a 2-week reading project. When you guys come back from vacation, we're gonna do a report on it." That never happened.
Never
happened.
And it was for me, it was a blessing in disguise for school, definitely, because I was not the best academic kid.
Me too.
And this is my school, or our school at least, like they barely knew how to work computers. So all the teachers were getting used to it, the staff was getting used to it, and I kind of just passed.
Yeah.
Here, do this essay, and I'll give you your diploma.
Yeah, that's basically what happened to me also. They're like, do this essay, I'll help you complete this, and you'll graduate.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Sounds like a fair trade.
Yeah.
Yeah.
True.
Yeah.
All right. But all jokes aside, and everything else here too. Good to see you guys are doing well there. So blessings to you guys.
Yep.
And the families as well.
Yeah, absolutely.
All right. But still kind of sticking on that topic here too. And I brought this up with Cujo and Neurotic. It seems like you guys are a little further away from New Haven, I guess the capital of Connecticut. I guess what's the music scene been like? I guess close to your neck of the woods and even close to the cities, I guess.
It's very weird.
Yeah.
It's very there isn't a whole lot out here. It's very you'll meet a couple people who are doing maybe band for fun, or just as an outside hobby. A lot of it is kind of like that, like, well, at least I've seen a lot, is a lot of like punk stuff. If they are doing originals, it's a lot of punk. A lot of covers is 80s, 90s.
Yeah.
So it was definitely like, especially like when I first joined and a little bit after, it was just like a very eye-opening thing. Like, oh wow, there really isn't like a lot of us out there, are there? Like,
No.
shout out Boundaries, Connecticut. But
Where's everybody?
but yeah, there really wasn't a lot. Mostly like, especially in like our area, it was like a lot of like bars just doing just just only wanting covers.
Freebird.
Yeah.
Can you play Stairway to Heaven?
A lot of places, just wanted us to do covers, and we've had people tell us like, "Hey, no one wants to listen to original music, do covers," and we were like, "Oh, okay." So I don't even want to say we tried.
No, they didn't.
I did not.
No, but we kind of stuck again with our guns on like, "Hey, we don't want to play technically other people's music. We want to play our music."
Yeah.
But like from where we are located, there's not a lot of like quote unquote places to really like play there. Also, like in Putnam, you maybe have a bar that you could play at. In the location where we are, I don't want to say it's mostly woods.
It's mostly woods.
It's
Yeah,
okay. It's mostly woods.
We live in the woods.
The boys out there with steaks.
We live
So
in the middle
yeah.
of fucking nowhere.
But
Courage, the calorie dog. So yeah.
Yes, literally.
I think also where we're located, I think it's very difficult for us to even try to look for shows. Sometimes we need to go down more into like Connecticut, or like there's sometimes I think we've maybe once, maybe twice we've been in Massachusetts for 2 shows.
Yes. So that first show we did with Neurotic, that was in Pepperell, Massachusetts, which is literally on the border of
New Hampshire.
And
Shout out New Hampshire.
shout out New Hampshire. And that was like the farthest we ever traveled at that point for like a show, which it still is. But then we did another show with Neurotic and Cujo in Alston, which is basically Boston.
Basically Boston.
So-
Shout out Derek White.
Yeah, shout out Derek White, Boston Celtics. Am I right?
Yeah. We will win again.
Yeah.
And then we sell it for $6 billion. So it's like,
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, what the fuck, man?
Yeah.
But anyway, continue.
Yeah.
Yeah. So but like, I mean, our first show was a skate park in Putnam, and that was really cool because
It was fun.
It was fun. It was at home, you know. A lot of people that we didn't know, so we got to like expose our music to everybody.
Yeah.
Little did we know that they were really exclusively punk band.
Yeah.
bands.
Yeah.
So
It did not.
we
like,
were not invited back.
Yeah.
But you know, like there's a little scene. There's a little scene.
Yeah.
So that's why like Neurotic and Cujo and us are like so closely knit, because we want like, and we help each other get shows so we can like build this scene a little bit more.
Yeah.
And there's a lot of bands that I do see that are around here, like in Rhode Island and Mass, that like do play around, and there's something, but it's just
there's something there, but
exclusive.
it's
And like another thing to also know is like we are definitely not Neurotic, and we're definitely not Cujo.
Yeah, no.
Because like Neurotic definitely has their established sound. Cujo is a little bit more like us, I'd say, but not. They're not
exclusively heavy.
Yeah, they're exclusively heavy.
Adventure.
Yeah, we definitely have a lot more prog type of like DNA in our music. So
yeah, we're just alternative.
Yeah.
Actually, have you gone to New York at all? Go to any venues in around there?
Not yet. No.
I would love to play in New York.
That would be really fun.
I would love to play. Is it Long Island? I would
like the Manhattan area.
Yeah,
like New York City part.
I would love to play there because in general, like I just want to travel to like go to other places, like to get our name out there more.
Yeah,
and I don't want to bring this up, but like I've had a buddy who is from New York, and his band was very well known.
Yeah,
but he's not with the band anymore. But I've known that he's told me that they traveled like through the U.S. in like a small mini bus, and he's told me like it's rough. Yeah. And you know what? That's what I want. I want to have those sleepless nights being eaten half of a bagel out of the trash or whatsoever. I want that life.
Maybe not fully, maybe for just a couple days, because I think it eventually gets you after a while. So
yeah.
But in all seriousness, I have interviewed a good number of musicians in and around the New York area, even one guy from Long Island. If you guys are looking to try to get in there, I'll see what I can do, but no guarantees. But we'll see what can happen.
Oh, awesome!
Get that car fixed, bro.
I need my car fixed.
What, you miss inspection, Chandler?
Hey,
damn it! God damn it! The marketplace again.
But no, like I'd say, like we definitely would travel a lot more if we had like the equipment to do it. Because I mean, the Boston, we rely on other people's like drum sets to play on. We rely on people's other PA and stuff. Like it's tough because we all still have three of. We all have jobs.
4 of us. Come on.
Yeah, we
have.
We have jobs that we still we heard the saying, don't quit your day job. But we're working for that like equipment to really like get out there and tour, like, well, not tour, but like just play shows. And we would love to go to New York. We'd love to just go around and actually play, because that's what we want to do.
Yeah, even like I'd say like the Particle Accelerator is going to be our quote unquote biggest show that we've played so far. And that's just because it's such a well-known event for our area, and like I guess it also means more for us too, because like going to a place like O'Brien's is also like far out, and it does like, because it also feels like we're definitely like expanding, like throwing ourselves in like the area of Massachusetts, Boston. But playing like a big, like, not really festival, but like that kind of like feel for it in our area is just like, it definitely feels like massive to at least me. Yeah. So it's always awesome.
All right. I leave it there on the table for you, so I'll let you guys decide. So
awesome.
All right, cool. Thank you.
But Jason, you seem to highlight what seems to be a big challenge for you guys. It seems like you guys don't really have a whole lot of your own equipment, or is it just hard just to get from point A to point B?
So technically, it's my equipment.
Both.
Don't be selfish. Don't be selfish. So, yeah.
What we play with is ours, not yours.
Well, it was a small jab.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Hey.
Again, yes, we use your place, to practice ever since the start, but whatever. But
Back in
our challenges are like, of course, getting to point A and point B, but also like just with the prices of like music equipment and stuff, it's not easy
Music
to
is
get
a
around.
very expensive hobby.
Shout out Sweetwater. They really
Shout out Jason from Sweetwater.
Jason's from Sweetwater. Yeah, like
Jason
that's
Filipino.
like we don't want to use like cheap, really easy to get equipment, because that like you get what you pay for.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And we don't want to like you know, have equipment and bring it to a show, and then, oh, it's not working. What are we gonna do?
Of course.
Hey, boo boo. Hey, boo boo. And it's like, you know, we want to, of course, have the best quality sounding stuff, but you know, of course, the challenges are like financial and stuff
Money,
like that.
financial,
Even Cubase. Cubase has been like a big thing for us, like trying to transition from that free website to like Cubase. Like my job is because I am the only one that technically has Cubase right now. My job is to also put it on a drive and have it delivered to Cameron, but I haven't
not done this for 2
I
weeks.
have not done it for like 3 weeks, even though it's been on like
It's been longer than 3 weeks.
everybody's been
Months.
telling me to do it for so long. But like even like a small challenge, like even like trying to record our new stuff, even that's like been a challenge because we do want to make that change, because we do know having a better DAW like that, you're gonna end up producing a better sound with the ideas that you have. And you definitely have a lot more, like you definitely have a lot less limits to your ideas for it as well, with plugins and the stuff that comes with it. It's a lot. So, and like not even just that, but also like them trying to like learn around a DAW and stuff like that would be also like a new challenge for everybody. But yeah, when it comes to equipment, is definitely one of our biggest challenges, is transporting it, and also like figuring out what's the next step. How do I improve my sound from where it's at right now? Like, what do I think right now would be most beneficial to me? Like, would this new cymbal, would it be worth like the price? Would it be worth it to be on a kit? Will I like how would this add to my sound? Or like with Cameron right now, like what's going to be the first pedal I get? Or like what would be the thing that would make it me right now, as like, you know, like as soon as possible. So it's been honestly very fun to explore.
It's fun and interesting because we always constantly, like, if it's me or Ethan or Jason, we just look online. So I will admit I get a lot of my stuff through Amazon. So basically, like, I bought my mics, I bought my stands, I bought a PA system. But getting the stuff that we have now to perform with when we like rehearse, before we even had a PA, we were using like these small amps. And that would go to the singer, one of them. Yep. And it'll be like one for the guitarist. So earning money in like just working and stuff. The money that we usually get from whatever we do at times, like if we sold some stuff or from our work, we will eventually put that money to a good use or invest on something. So I've constantly bought, you know, new cymbals. I bought like a sticker for like my bass, drum. I bought almost $1,000 of a Les Paul to just have.
just to mess
Cam's like yawn. So
Like Paul. But like the equipment that we buy, we know eventually it will be a investment. So I think it's always good to buy a new pedal, a new cymbal, to just see like what can we do with all this new stuff. I bought pedals before for Ethan, and then in like December I bought a Christmas gift for Jason, and it was a effect voice pedal. So like small things like that, like something so small like a effect pedal will do us great in the future.
Especially with the type of music we play, you know?
Yeah. Oh, yes.
It's definitely an investment. But like those investments, it's like you want to, like, you don't want to like drop like a couple $100 on something that's like
you don't need.
Yeah, you don't need. And like, would it be worth it to also just like wait it out until you could actually afford like this thing that is also like, it can do that, but it can also have this other effect on the different sounds that you want as well.
It makes you question, why did the drummer buy a guitar?
Because I played I wanted
Grand on a guitar.
I wanted Les Paul. It was a birthday gift to me.
It's not a guitar.
It was a sacrificial offering to me,
It was a gift
dirtbag.
Yeah.
Drumstick.
I just wanted to invest in some more drumsticks too. Afterwards. So yeah.
That's a big drumstick.
So yeah. Just real quick, what sort of gear do you currently have that you're using? What brands are they, I should say?
Shout out Ibanez. That's been my guitar choice. I did start out with it's gonna sound really funny. A Jackson Dinky, and it was like a red transparent, and it had a floating bridge that annoyed the fuck out of me. Because it was literally like a fucking 15-minute YouTube video to how to restring or like how to tune the fucking guitar. It pissed me off.
And how'd that work out for you? So yeah.
Yeah, it obviously didn't. I got annoyed with it. Now it's hanging up in my wall and I haven't touched it in like 4 years.
Millennium.
Yeah, but Ibanez RGB 6003. I don't know how I still remember that. But like that has been my guitar of choice. It's been my baby. I do want a 7-string. The dream is a PRS Mark Holcomb 7-string. It'll never happen. It's $1,300. It will never happen. But yeah, that's. And then when it comes to amps, why can I not think of it? I know I had a Boss Katana. What is it now? It is a Boss Katana.
We had a PV.
Yeah, I did have a PV at one point.
Mysteriously broke.
It was sabotaged overnight, probably from a burglar.
Jason.
I wasn't here.
Not I.
Not I.
But yeah, that's been mine. And then when it comes to pedals,
Jesus. This guy's the gear guy.
Yeah, he's more of the gear.
Mixer 10-band pedal is really fun because it's a nice EQ pedal. And then whammy that can do 2 octaves or like an octave down, 2 octaves down,
Or up.
dive bomb, like just like stuff like that. It's really fun to mess with. We do have Mark Holcomb Dark Sun delay and reverb. That's really fun. And then I know obviously tuner, Apex preamp pedal from Horizon Devices. Shout out Misha Mansour, man. Where would I be without him, for real? Fuck that guy, for real. No, I love Misha. I
It was like, geez, we just started praising the guy, and all of a sudden we're like, fuck that guy. So, yeah. What world are you living in, buddy?
That's how Ethan expresses his love.
Who are you? What have you done with Ethan, man? So, yeah.
No, I hate him because he's so good at everything. I hate him because he's so good at every single thing. I hate it.
He makes his own sound out of air.
Yeah.
So he's God.
That and like the amount of equipment he has, like it's out of jealousy, I say fuck him for real, but I do
A friendly jealousy in this case. A friendly jealousy.
Yeah.
Friendly jealousy.
Hey, jealousy.
Good jealousy.
But yeah, I just those things have gotten so much out of me, and I've gotten a lot out of them for like a lot. like everything that's like Deftones or shoegazy, I'm definitely putting on the Dark Sun delay and reverb. The preamp is amazing. It literally takes my distortion pedal and it takes that away from me pretty much, because that's like the only thing I use for like a lot of our high gain sound is just the Apex preamp. So like when it comes to like gent and that kind of sound, that's the mastermind behind it pretty much. So
So to my answer, I just use whatever.
Oh my god!
Take note, Ethan. That's how you answer a question there.
You're right.
Yeah,
I'm sorry.
No, like for like sticks or cymbals, like drum heads, like I have not changed my tom heads and like sounds like got it. I changed maybe the snare head maybe once or twice. From like the cymbals, I know I have a bunch of the same brands, but I don't remember what they're called. But like I have so much gear that it doesn't to me matter on the brand per se, but I just use what I have seen on reviews and other stuff. So like for the drummer, I like for stick wise, I use a 7A drumstick. I like my later drumsticks. I like to like sometimes twirl them in my fingers. I like the heavier drumsticks. I have some drumsticks from Trey Cool, and there are a lot like they are thick and heavy, and I like that when I need to smash on my cymbals. Yeah, but there's no brand that I really just stick with. Not like his answer that he was going through every pedal. But no, like I don't have just one brand or two. I just stick with what I like, and from everything else, that's all really.
Yeah. So my gear I bought when I was born. I got this throat, and it was pretty good. It works pretty good actually.
It evolved over time, so yeah.
Yeah. It hasn't.
Genetics diff.
Yeah. Yeah. But no, so there's a couple songs that we have that I do play guitar on. At home I have a Washburn X series, and it works pretty good. Broke the strap on it, haven't used it since, but so I use his Les Paul. But it's a great guitar. My music teacher's friend got me these thick Ernie Ball strings that just really bring the tone out. Really, it's really great, and I wish I could use it more. I gotta fix the strap on that thing. But I actually just bought a couple days ago a Line 6 Spider 5 120 MK. I'm reading this 120 watt modeling combo amp, and I can't wait to use that thing. It's going to be my first amp that I really bought, and
I walked him through that process.
We know.
I have to ask the guitarist what to do for a guitar thing, but
You had to pay him to do that sort of service.
Yeah. But yeah, I can't wait to use that because there's this song called "To Die For."
All great songs.
Oh, it is a really great song. And we hope to record it and put it out pretty soon. But when we play it live,
it hits.
There's this breakdown at the end where he's on just this like reverby, really ethereal kind of dreamy sound with the guitar the whole time. And then I come in with the distortion, and it just makes the song just beautiful, absolutely amazing. And on the recorded live version that we have, he's the guitarist, but he's also a keyboardist. He puts this keyboard piano sound over it, and it also just adds so much to it. So whenever we get the equipment to actually do what we really want to do, it's just gonna take off. Like it's gonna be something that like no one's ever heard before, and it's beautiful. I cannot wait.
I feel like when we play that song, everybody takes out their phones and just like
yeah, it's that kind of
that type of song.
We did it once at Drafters.
Oh yeah,
that was literally the response that we got from that song. Was literally like every single one of the people in there just literally took out their phones and started waving them.
And that's the first time we played it live.
And that was the first time we played it live. It was very cool. It was also me trying to balance playing the piano and playing the guitar, and I couldn't do both. So I think I gave up on the keyboard like halfway through that.
I didn't even know that.
anyone's watching and wants to be a keyboardist for a band in Thompson, Connecticut.
Wow.
We are now hiring. So,
Now hiring. Yeah, but
Is that where we just got to put it on and like just have it as like a
loop, like a
we just,
sample.
Like,
Yeah.
I forget what it's called, like a backtrack. Yeah, sorry.
Backtrack.
But yeah, I don't know what kind of PA that is, but
I have no idea.
he got it off Amazon.
Again.
It's just something I use during practices anyway, and it works good. And the pedal that he got me, it's amazing. But yeah, that's basically what I use. I just plug in and then I'm good.
Fuck Amazon.
I mean,
Okay.
Okay.
What's that guy use?
well, for my equipment is, I mean, I don't really know much about my equipment. I know I have a, I know I have a Rumble 100 for my amp, which this guy right here helped me get that amp because he knows everything about amps and gear, as you can tell by all the pedals he talked about and stuff. I also have a like pedal to tune my bass when it needs to be tuned to certain different tunings, C, standard, all that.
Well, the bass you use is the Ibanez, right?
I think so.
Yeah. I had to talk him into getting an Ibanez.
Yeah, I guess for bass. I don't even really remember what my own bass like guitar brand is and all that, but he knows.
Yeah.
Because he helped me get all my like equipment and stuff.
I do remember what my kit is. It's a Ludwig. So I have a Ludwig kit. I just remember that. That's why.
I thought you had the
Zildjian.
the Zildjian cymbals though.
Me?
I think so. Yeah. Right.
I had like old ones. I had a Crash and a Ride.
Shout out those brands.
Yes.
Yeah.
Shout out.
Whatever we just talked about. Line 6. One day I'll get the Quad Cortex, but not today.
Quad Cortex.
Yeah, today is not that day, pal. Whatever.
today is not that day, so yeah.
Yeah,
Today
is not that day. It's way too expensive. way too expensive.
Yeah, win the lottery, man.
Yeah, like a couple grand.
That guy from Neurotic. What's his
James
James.
Slothar.
Yeah, fuck that guy.
again, bro.
No, when I saw like it was literally their first show, and I saw that he had the fucking Quad Cortex, had whipped out the laptop and everything.
Oh my god,
that was amazing.
I was like, man, I got flexed on.
No,
I was like, damn.
So
he's got it.
Neurotic's first show was that Chubby Dog.
Yeah,
I just remembered that.
Yeah.
So we had a show there, and we were like, man, we need a second band that needs to play with us.
For us.
So
yeah.
And then Hunter and Nate were like, no, we got a band. And then we're like, all right, go ahead. And then they come in, fucking bring out the laptop, the freaking Quad Cortex,
this dude's doing sound checks from like fucking halfway throughout the room, and it goes all the way back, holding his laptop, trying to adjust the sound.
Yeah, they play Cowboy Killers and the whole venue. Mind you, Chubby Dog is like the smallest stage, smallest venue you could probably think of. Beautiful, anyway.
Beautiful place.
Love Chubby Dog. Love you, Adam. Friggin', they play Cowboy Killers, and it's like, it's like, oh my god.
They were over prepared.
Over prepared. Yeah.
No, brought their own PA.
No, there was nothing wrong with it, honestly.
No. Yeah.
But yeah, I was just like, damn, he's got it, not me. Yeah, because I was like, because I was always telling like Jason, like at some point I do just want the Quad Cortex. It's like if I get that, that's all I'll need. But when I saw that, I was like, oh shit.
So that's our goal.
Yeah.
Yeah, getting the Quad Cortex and
He's like, you bastard. So,
fancy laptop that could control the sound of everything.
I literally could have dropped to my knees and started crying. It was in despair.
Yeah, man.
Why?
No.
God hates me kind of thing.
I don't know. Maybe God loves me today or something like that. So, hopefully.
God damn,
all right. Just real quick, and then we'll jump into the fun questions afterwards. Do you guys use AI for anything in your music? And I guess what do you make of it these days, along with social media?
AI is first of all, support your artists. AI is not real art to me. I think, and you know what's really funny? I was just on Twitter, which by the way, don't do that. And I just remember
Of all things, Elon. So yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
damn you, Jeff Bezos, Elon Musk, man. But yeah, I just remember I was like on X, sorry, and
Formerly Twitter.
formerly Twitter.
Just explain what you're trying to say.
My God.
Anyway.
My God. But yeah, it was actually a huge discussion about that, and yeah, I disagree with when people say that AI is real art, because it's not. Like, when it comes down to it, art is baseline emotion, and like that's what it comes down to. And when it comes down to emotion, nothing's perfect. And I feel like that's what a lot of it takes away, because it's like you look at all this stuff and it's like it's not real. It's not real emotion. There's no flaw in it. Or it's like if it is flawed, then you can definitely tell, and it's absolutely atrocious. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, just support real artists. Yes.
Yeah,
The hands with the multiple fingers. So yeah.
Yeah.
My view on it is like, it's not real art, and it shouldn't be used to express anything in like your kind of music. I mean, do what you want, like, because in the end, it AI is, you know, you can't. I wouldn't support it being used as a whole. Like, you know, a whole thing. Like, if something is 100% AI, it's not real, you know. But I can see it being used as a tool.
I agree on that.
Like,
Yeah, but I don't agree with making money out of it.
yeah,
Like when the whole premise is like, hey, make art, and then you put it in a generator, and then you somehow make money out of it. I'm like,
yeah, yeah. Terrible.
what am I doing, man?
But like, you can use it as a tool to like make maybe certain sounds that you want to be made, because like you look at how the evolution of music has gone, you know, and you know, of course, caveman rocks to you know, friggin' strings and Beethoven and all that,
Horse string.
to, you know, the basic guitar, singer, bass, drummer, to now, like, you know, you got stuff like dubstep and stuff, you know. You can make the argument that dubstep isn't real music because it's all
Very
electronic and stuff. So when...
No offense, Cameron.
No,
So,
yeah,
No offense, Cameron, you know. We love Zed and
Alan Walker.
Alan Walker was...
Shout out
Cameron's
Faded.
Oh, Alan Walker is the best.
Yeah.
or Dead Mouse. So yeah.
Yeah. Skrillex. Yeah, but
Skrillex versus Mozart.
but yeah, like AI can be used as a tool as long as it's, you know, not excessively used. But like seeing AI and like memes and funny stuff and as like a joke, you know.
Yeah, that's very fun.
It's all right. Yeah. Scary but fun.
It is scary, but
Yeah.
You can really make anybody laugh.
yeah, especially when it, like it's very scary where it's like deep fakes and it's like scandalous.
Oh yeah.
Like,
yeah.
you know, and
Like,
with
what are you
Linkin
trying
Park's
to-
new stuff with Emily and stuff, and people using Chester's voice over Emily.
Yeah.
Oh, that freaks me out. Like, and that don't freak me out, but it just
It's like
It's not how-
right.
It's like weird and awkward.
It's not right.
Yeah, it's also like that's another thing where it's like, again, it doesn't have the emotion behind it. It doesn't have the flaws that, or like the tendencies that the real artist would have. So it's not. To me, it's like it's AI just is bad replica, in my
Yeah.
opinion.
My take on AI personally is like I think AI is cool and stuff, but like when AI is doing all the work for you, it just seems like there's no effort really being put into it, and it's just like like people are saying, "Oh, I made this," but realistically, AI did all the work for you, and you're just putting your name on it and saying that you did the work for it when realistically they didn't, and they're making this money off of it and stuff when they really shouldn't be. Like, I agree with Jason saying like AI can be used as a tool because like you can use it to like get, as he said, cool sounds and stuff like with all this dubstep EDM and stuff. But like if you're using AI and putting it in your name that you're the one who made it when AI did all the work, then it's like it's just worthless in my opinion because you didn't do any of the work.
Yeah, art is more than just the idea.
Exactly.
It's also making it and putting it into fruition. So
To answer your question, no.
We do not condone.
Hell no.
Hell no. Hell no. Yeah. Hell no.
Yeah.
Hell no.
Yeah.
All right. Well, good enough for me there too. So tread carefully, good soldiers. Okay. So I did leave out some questions, but here we'll tie it in with some of the fun questions. So, Jason, I guess we'll start off here. I guess what would you say is currently your favorite food?
Steak.
Hey,
Simple.
USA, man. The great America.
What do you want me to say?
You're
Cheeseburgers
vegan?
and fries, man.
You get a salad or something?
What the hell is that?
Where's the meat in that?
I mean, thought about going vegan, Jason.
Oh my god.
Should be
You know, okay.
How many times
It's really
have you
weird
thought
with
about
me.
it?
I love animals. I would have a freaking cow as a pet, raccoon, you name whatever animal.
Oh, raccoon?
Hurricane. Shout out Trailer Park Boys. But no,
Shout out Ricky, man.
Shut up.
friggin' yeah, I love animals, but I can't live without eating them.
It's a cycle.
It's either you or me, so yeah.
Yeah, I mean, like I don't want to do it. Like I'm so hypocritical when it comes to it.
Yeah.
Like I don't want to do it, but I'll eat it.
Yeah, it's a cycle of
I don't want to
despair
see
for
it
Jason.
either. I can't do that.
I'm actually between a chicken cutlet or steak as well.
Mm.
I love my steak, simple and plain, just that.
Chicken parm. Can just never go wrong with it.
Chicken
man.
parm grinder.
Chicken parm.
Oh,
Either on a grinder
but without the pasta.
without pasta.
You really love chicken parms.
Yeah.
But I would say my favorite food is probably steak and cheese grinders.
I hate y'all. These guys, man.
Steak and cheese grinders are amazing.
Ethan hates whoever's not him.
Yeah.
Hey,
That's real.
Ethan.
No, I'm kidding. No, yeah. No, I couldn't live with myself at that point.
food isn't all about chicken parm.
I mean, he probably got the wrong end of a good steak, to be honest, there too. It was all chewy and
Yeah.
Oh,
probably the ass cheek maybe or something like that.
Yeah.
like aside from steak, I'm also been so crazy about stuffed crust pizza.
Oh yeah.
Like, I think the only kind of pizza should be stuffed crust. I don't know.
Jason's very adamant on that, and Little Caesars.
Little Caesars stuffed crust pizza. Goated. So glad Domino's made a stuffed crust pizza. I hope they never get rid of it.
Domino's made a stuffed crust pizza?
Yeah.
They finally did, apparently.
I didn't know that.
Shout out Domino's, man.
Shout out Domino's.
Formerly
All
known as
these shout-outs.
Dominick's. Or was it Dominick's? Something like that.
What?
Yeah.
Stuffed cheesy bread. I think that's what he's thinking of or something.
Yeah, I remember. I don't know.
What?
That's what I love. So yeah.
I think Domino's started with a different name. I thought it was Dominick's.
I mean, it was
Dominatrix or
pizza
something?
for a while.
Yeah, back in when they first started, whenever the hell that was. But
Back in the day,
yeah, back in probably fucking
Four scores and
7 years ago. Yeah.
Little buddy, it's okay.
Sorry, I messed up my joke. Fuck.
Schools 7 years ago.
Anyway, yeah.
What's this? Getting like a dress right now?
Yes.
Okay. Actually, do you guys do any sort of hobbies? I guess in terms of cooking, or I don't know what you guys do in terms of a main job.
So I have many different hobbies in general. Like,
World.
okay.
Right on the screen right there. Anyway.
Wow. So I do like to game, but I'm not a big gamer in general. Like, but I like to game on like my PC. For other hobbies in general, I do like cooking. I actually do that for a job, but I love cooking for just like other people to try. Like I have like some recipes that I've made that I just love cooking for people. I guess you consider that as a hobby. You can also consider a hobby as being a freaking big ass nerd for Marvel. I love Marvel movies.
There you go.
Oh yeah.
I love talking about Marvel. I love to talk about, like, I'm watching the new season or series of Daredevil, and it's a good show.
Charlie Cox, man.
Charlie Cox is the best.
God, I love.
By the way, the best
Charlie Cox.
Daredevil. But I think that's all the hobbies that I like doing or love.
Oh,
Yeah.
what was I gonna say?
Basketball.
Some shit. Oh, Heath Ledger. I love that.
Oh, so
I love
DC,
him.
right?
Say, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, he was Joker in
Best Joker.
Dark Knight. So yeah.
Best Joker, other than Mark Hamill. I'll say that.
I would agree.
Mark Hamill's the voice. Will make Heath
Yeah.
Ledger the real life Joker in this case.
Yeah.
But Jared Leto, guys.
Shut up.
Okay.
I want to do the line
It's
so
Morbid
bad.
time.
Oh,
It's Morbid.
All right. Just so, almost every practice, he has to do a line from Heath Ledger's Joker. Go ahead.
My father was a drinker.
If there was a way to mute this, man, take that out of the segment.
And it's funny enough because I did that for, I think, what was it, like a little skit on our Instagram, and yeah, I literally did that. And it's just me holding a tequila bottle and just opening it.
He also did it probably on one of his old YouTube channels.
Mostly, probably.
Oh yeah, so he was also a YouTuber.
Okay.
Back in the day. So, yeah.
Back in the day.
Jason, tell us your hobbies.
I
Yeah.
have hobbies.
Yeah, hobbies,
Bro,
you know.
all I do is lay at home, watch YouTube.
Enter
I'm not-
left.
You're rubbing his hankering for fuck's sakes. I mean, look at you. Aren't you supposed to be a potions master or something in Harry Potter?
You did iRacing.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. So, all right.
The reason why I said, hey, Jason, how about you? Because I want to hear all about Jason's iRacing career.
Okay, so when this interview first started, I said I was really into like race cars and stuff.
Dale Earnhardt Jr. So yeah.
Dale Earnhardt Jr. That's my man.
And the
Fuck
real
Lamar
Dale Earnhardt
Jackson.
Jr.
Yep.
But yeah, you said it right there. Dale Earnhardt Jr. was my guy growing up. And I keep track of NASCAR still these days. I try to watch every race. Today's the first race I missed of the year. Pissed.
Yo.
But also, I do iRacing, as the guy said. I am currently Class B in stock car racing. On that class. I don't do it as much as the guys say I do. I'll probably play every 1 or 2 weeks. But and then whenever I get wrecked, I get mad. Stop. So I don't play video games that much anymore because I have a really bad competitive anger issue.
Yeah.
R.I.P. the TV and or the computer.
Yeah. Halo Infinite, man.
RIP. R.I.P. to Ethan. Well, not Ethan, but
Oh God, he killed Ethan.
almost. Okay, let me just say. All right, I was like
Xbox
12 years
controller.
old. This kid
Who
was
are you? So, yeah.
This kid was like 7 years old, and he was beating me in Black Ops, Call of Duty Black Ops, when it first came out. And
He took my controller.
this is when he was in the car seat. His car seat was like right next to my foot. I kicked the car seat, went right into the Xbox 360, and scratched the disc. I should not be playing competitive games with this guy. I cannot stand
Why is he
losing.
so upset by
And
that?
I will admit, I am the biggest sore loser to ever exist on this planet. I cannot take losing. So, yeah, that's a lot about me right there. But I also draw. I also write.
Anime.
You used to do karate.
I used to do karate. Made it to 2nd degree black belt. In Tang-Soo-Do.
Jackie Chan and shit going on right there.
Chuck Norris. So Chuck Norris was my guy, and Bruce Lee. But yeah, so Tang-Soo-Do, it's like a Korean-born karate, and Chuck Norris was one of the original, I guess you could say, representatives of that style of martial arts, and so I can compare myself to Chuck Norris. Just kidding.
You could never.
But yeah,
Camera.
Yeah.
and all types of different art and iRacing and NASCAR.
Let's go NASCAR. Bubba Wallace.
Bubba
Yeah,
Wallace.
Bubba Wallace.
My guy.
Jeff Gordon. He's off the pedal there, Jeff Gordon.
Jeff Gordon, Dale Earnhardt, Richard Petty, David Pearson, Dale Jr., Tony Stewart, Jimmy Johnson, Kyle Larson.
3 wide.
But yeah, those are my guys.
All right, Cameron, your turn.
So, besides doing music as a hobby, the main hobby I do is playing video games 24/7 mainly. If I'm at home, I'm on my computer just sitting there playing games all the time.
He says he's busy.
Yeah, I'm busy
Explains a
playing
lot.
games.
I mean, my next guess was pornography, so I don't know.
You can put that in there.
That's for all 4 of us, man. We can't lie.
Gooners for life, man.
Let's go.
I'm not
Yeah.
joining. I'm not joining into this.
I wipe my hands clean of this. So that's what it is.
Yeah, man.
I'll wash my hands before this.
You make sure to really wash that left hand or the right hand, and you just fist bump with Jason. So,
Yeah,
Oh,
man.
shoot, you're right. I only wash my left. My bad. My bad.
Peplock.
I trust they're clean.
Yeah. Let's go.
Brothers through dirt and clean.
All right, we're just kidding right there. So I just want to make sure people know we're just kidding. So,
Yeah.
Obviously.
okay. All right. Actually, this could probably tie in with the lyrics here too, but I'm curious. What would you say is your favorite movie and favorite TV show or anime? Because it seems like you guys really delve into that kind of stuff.
Ooh, anime.
Can I go first on this one?
Sure. If it's not going to be
Go
a
ahead.
long ass answer.
You're right. You're right.
Get ready for
Mine,
another 10
mine
minutes.
is a pretty long answer, but I'll try to cut it down because Good Will Hunting. It was a really big movie for me, especially emotionally. I went through a really, really bad time junior year in high school, and it was just I had a big panic attack. I was just really bad, when it came to just having my emotions it felt like after that it was hard for me to get stabilized. After that I had to obviously become medicated. It was bad. But that movie, when I first watched it, it just really helped me. I couldn't really explain it, but it just I could just connect with it, I guess. It wasn't I was Will Hunting. It wasn't like that. It was just for some reason, it was just the emotions with the movie, the things that came with it. It just I could connect with it, and it was just a big thing for me.
Yeah, Robin Williams, man.
All right,
He was just
R.I.P.
somebody else.
he was the
He
goat.
was really
man.
someone else.
He actually, I think they were doing maybe some sort of joke. I don't know if it was actually in the final cut, but you just see him and Matt David just laugh real hard because he's cracked a joke and the camera's actually shaking too because the cameraman's laughing as well.
Yeah, I think that was actually
Yeah.
I think that stayed in the movie. It was about the wife farting. I'm sure.
Yeah.
Something like that. But anyway, go ahead.
I guess I'll go next, or do you want to go?
I wish we had an order.
Yeah.
My
Yeah.
answer is going to be really short.
Go ahead.
All right.
So, the main thing I mainly watch is exclusively basically anime. And my favorite anime is Mushoku Tensei Jobless Reincarnation. Mainly, it's just about this guy who gets a new life and he kind of just learns magic and becomes the most powerful person in the world, I guess.
Mm-hmm.
For a long story short of it,
It's a really long story.
Yeah.
yeah. But it's a very cliche anime, mainly, as everything is now these days.
Cliche, but it's got its own personality to it. I watched it too.
That's my short answer.
You go, Chandler.
For like movies and I think you're asked movies and TV shows, right?
Yeah.
Like for TV shows, like I can go on like a lot of them, but a show that I never thought of watching for some reason, and it's ended like in 2020, but it is my favorite show right now is Supernatural. Like it is a really good show. I never thought of watching it.
I told you to watch it so many times.
I know. But for like movie wise, like I've always loved any Marvel movie technically, but what really stuck out for a movie that I really loved dearly, and it kind of made me want to kind of go for like entertainment purposes, like directing, was the Harry Potter movies. I truly love the Harry Potter movies deeply because I never knew how you can create a world and how they were shot in like the later movies. David Yates, who I think directed the last 4 movies, I truly loved how, you know, you can create a story and then put it on film. And, you know, my brother read the books, but I watched the movies. And I truly just loved Harry Potter. But if I couldn't say Harry Potter, I think another movie that really stuck out to me was Scream, 1996. Again, that was the first movie that I really, truly fell in love with. That was horror.
Yeah.
Skeet.
Yeah.
Yeah, Skeet. But that also, with the first one, Scream, made me love horror movies. So for both of the movies, Harry Potter really got me into really want to do film, and Scream was the one that really got me into horror and wanting to make horror movies. Like, try to do it.
Jason?
Oh. All right.
Oh.
So he kind of stole my answer. So
Me?
Well, not the whole thing, but so a TV show that I recently have like watched all the way through was Supernatural. That show really it really connected with me because it's about 2 brothers and they become hunters for like monsters, ghosts, and all that, and it really has that like family deep meaning to it.
Oh my god, yes.
And
it ended up in the world of Scooby-Doo as a crossover.
Yes. What season
it goes
is that?
a little nuts. It goes a little nutty. Yes. But my favorite part of Supernatural, which should have ended after season 5 because the original writer left. But
oh wow.
Season 1 through 5 are my favorite seasons of that because that's when it was really just I guess you could say basic, like, you know, nothing too crazy going on in the world of Supernatural. And and the brotherly connection just makes me think of me and my brother. And my mom watched it when it first aired in 2005 all the way to the end. So it's got that like just family connection to me. It's like a family favorite of my family. So, and the 67 Impala, I love that car. I want that so bad, man. So when this band takes off, becomes famous, that's the first car I'm buying, man. So yeah.
Eventually.
But, yeah.
Eventually.
Other than that, though, Supernatural. I'm also an anime watcher, enjoyer. I started off with Dragon Ball Z, Yu Yu Hakusho, and Soul Eater.
Cowboy Bebop.
Cowboy Bebop was later on, but
Steve Bloom.
yeah. I like the classic 90s kind of anime, but whenever I'm watching like a modern one, I kind of just have to watch it with him.
Yeah.
Cameron and I, we have like, well, it's become like kind of bi-weekly, but he comes over and we make some bowls of ramen, get our Monster Energy on, and just power through some episodes of anime. I've became old. We used to do all-nighters watching anime, but nowadays...
Well, we watch like 1 or 2 episodes, and then we watch 1 or 2 episodes, then we talk for an hour, and we're like, oh, okay, time to go to sleep now.
Yeah, when he said power through episodes, I was like, man, it's like 1. Barely.
Yeah,
it's like 1.
We used to power
I'm
through
still
episodes.
stuck, like-
Used to power through.
Yeah, it's stuck in
Now-
my 20,
Now we're just like,
15.
yeah, we're going to sleep.
Yeah, I gotta go through the
I'm
midlife
old.
crisis.
But yeah, this guy kind of like reignited my love for anime
Yeah.
and modern stuff with I'm embarrassed to say this, but it's Sword Art Online.
That's where it started for you, in modern anime.
Yeah, and it's just it's a good, like, just funny watch sometimes.
Oh man, I gotta, when it comes down to anime, I just watched this one. It was a Paranoia Agent. That shit was like top notch. Like I
I've
like,
heard of it.
yeah, it's weird because you wouldn't hear of it. Yeah, man, we gotta these two gotta watch that for sure because it has such a crazy, like, what it's about is mental health. Like, bottom line, it comes down to mental health, and like during the time period when it was being made, apparently mental health in Japan was highly overlooked. And it's a crazy anime, and I absolutely loved it. Soundtrack was great. The idea of it was just amazing. The characters were really deep. Like, each character had so much depth to them. It's great. Shout out Little Slugger.
Shout out.
You have a lot of shout outs in this.
No, it's just because like there's so much things like I want to like pull out there because it's just like things that I don't know, man.
Yeah.
Actually, I did want to jump into that. I guess, Jason, are you the main songwriter? I guess there's some of this anime and TV stuff. You try to incorporate it to the lyrics, or is it something else?
Yes and no, actually. So it's mostly about my real life experiences, our lyrics. Like the first EP and the third EP, you could say, are about like relationships and like just kind of like girls along the way, forget friends and that have come and gone, and
Experiences.
just life experiences.
Yeah.
The second EP was mostly about like my struggles with my own life and how I've felt with a lot of things. Like, for example, Technical Difficulties, the first song on that, was about me just hating my fucking boss that was breathing down my neck and making me get those numbers up with the Button Factory.
Yeah.
And then the second song, Through Your Eyes, was just about like just people that you could call friends but really weren't, and were just really lying in your face about a lot of things. Like, I can see right through your eyes, and all the lies you've told and all that. And then Tears Fall, that was the one song that was about like a girl on there, she so just put it simple, she was a very mental abusive girl and would like guilt trip me through her self-harm and stuff, and made me not sleep for like 8 months in a row, basically. And it was a terrible time. Like, I wanted to help her, but she wouldn't like take the help. So that's what Tears Fall was about. And shout out Nathan Surratt with that awesome guitar solo on there.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
And then
Is it a tears? Is it a Tears Don't Fall?
No, it's
Tears
take the don't out. Tears Fall.
We'll put in parentheses. How about that?
Yeah.
Anyway.
And then our last song on that was Uplift, and that was supposed to be a powerful message about, like, you've gone through these experiences, you've gone through these hard times, but there's always a light at the end of the tunnel, and there will be an uplift, and you have to just find it, kind of thing. So, like second EP, terribly produced, very great songs on there.
I don't think the second EP was really that bad produced. Was that really bad when we were doing it?
If you heard through your eyes.
Do you remember what we talked about in the beginning, where it was like, "Hey, we need to get this thing out"?
Well, that is EP1, I thought.
That was EP2 as well.
Was
And
it?
EP3.
Yeah, and EP3.
I guess I was misleading what I thought.
Whoa.
Whoa! The misleading EPs?
Oh, yeah, so we haven't even said it, but the first EPs were called Misleading EP1, Misleading EP2, and Misleading EP3. We wanted to make an album called Misleading because the Nameless, Misleading, like it's like, I don't know, a whole thing.
Yeah.
Something.
And then we did it 3 times and we kind of wore out the name. So now like we have a different idea of a name for an album if we ever make it.
Yeah.
It almost sounds like a concept actually, where I think a Cryptopsy, that one death metal band out of Canada, I think they were doing something along those lines. Was like, I don't know if it was Book of the Dead, but whatever. It seemed like it was like one continuous story. So like it was one EP was telling this, next EP was telling that, then next EP was telling that. So
yeah. You can definitely put it that way because like at least with the artwork, the artwork was also very interesting because we had our friend Corey make the artwork digitally, but I always sketched out an idea. And we have like this mascot, you could say. He's like a silhouette of a person, but he has the wings of a demon. It's like very ripped up and like scary looking. And then he has a halo of an angel, and it the silhouette represents like the emptiness inside the person, but the wings represent the harder part of our music, and the halo represents the lighter side. And I took that inspiration from Linkin Park's Hybrid Theory. Like he has the soldier, and then the the soldier represents the hardness of the music, and then the I think dragonfly wings represent the lighter side of the music. So I kind of just like took inspiration from that.
I do want to, I think, note, as I think Brian said, like lyrics, like you're like the main person. I believe in the first EP, I thought I brought in some songs in mine.
Oh, yeah.
Like,
sure.
Yeah. So, but like, I just want to just like mention this, just like,
sorry.
There's a terrible song on the first EP that I curated.
It's not terrible.
What was it?
It's
Part of Me.
Pardon? That's
Paranoia.
Paranoia. That's
there's a song that I brought to the table. I made the lyrics to, and it was just all right. But
it's a judgment day, man, a fucking doomsday.
But then, as what Jason said, I made Part of Me, and as what,
that's a beautiful song.
That song was very interesting because, and I'll make this really quick, but it was supposed to be a rock song. It was the idea of me watching the documentary of Minutes to Midnight from Linkin Park. And this was already when Chester Sally passed away. And I just kind of thought of the line, Part of Me. It's like they lost a part of themselves. So I just was like, you know what? I'm going to make a song called Part of Me. It was going to be a rock song. And then about, I don't even know how long we were producing it. I had a tragedy in my family where my aunt sadly died, but the song is all about like grief, like how people don't sometimes move on, or how they struggle to move on, and how my aunt sadly died was by suicide.
Yeah.
And I kind of stepped back and was like, wow, this is a very interesting time. By me making this song, somebody who was close to me died by that way. So I brought it to the table to Jason, I think with Ethan also. It's like, what if we made it acoustic?
Yeah.
And I think I remember somebody who says like, but why? And I was like, well, because I was singing it on acoustic, and it sounds so nice just my vocals and just the guitar. And they were like, you know what? I think that's a good idea. But I had to finish it. And the lyrics into that was just mostly me just feeling at the time just the way that I felt. Like, am I going to see my family, or am I not just going to move forward with my life? Like, am I, because there's a line where I bring up alcohol, pills, or a gun.
Yeah.
And it's all about how people grieve. So, but I don't always say like, oh, that's my favorite song off of any song. I don't try to pick my own song as like, well, I liked my song. But I think it's a very nice when Jason, or even at times, I think Ethan's made some lyrics for some songs in general.
Yeah.
Because I think that's how we really should work a lot, where he brings up a song and sometimes I bring up like, hey, you should add like maybe like this line or so. I think we made a song all together.
So Through Your Eyes was like mostly the song that we like kind of did lyrics on all together.
Yeah.
Before Cameron joined the band.
Yeah.
But like I can't think of the lyrics right now. Some of the songs I just blank on, and Through Your Eyes is one of them.
Yeah, of course. There's something about a lake.
Yeah, he wrote something about a lake.
I wrote about
Hourglass, and then I wrote everything else. So yeah, there's actually this song we don't play a lot anymore, but that's because it's so long. It's very complicated to play. And
that one.
It's called "Sick of Love," and this song is actually like the three of us writing lyrics. The first verse is all Ethan, and like I put like it was supposed to be for like a bunch of different other songs, but I put it all into one, and it flows very well together. And then the second verse is all Chandler. He wrote a bunch of lyrics and put it all together, and that worked very well, and it flows. And then the last one is me, and it's a very chill, like Samurai Champloo kind of it's kind of like a lo-fi kind of hip hop kind of song. It's very different from everything else that we play, and that's why it's like kind of complicated to play live. It's just very weird.
The structure of it was very.
Oh yeah, because it has
a lot of
chorus
everywhere. Yeah, it does have chorus in it, but playing it on guitar is. It's very hard to figure out like a structure for it.
Yeah,
that's pretty cool. There was a lot to take in there too. So.
Sorry.
Right. On a serious note, Chandler, sorry for you lost it, buddy.
Yeah.
So.
No problem, man. Seriously, we will all lose somebody, sadly.
Yep.
Oh my god, that's so dark.
Do we have to go that route?
Sorry, Brian.
You start off so nice, and now all of a sudden we have to get dark.
Okay, I'm sorry.
No, to be fair, a lot of what it's hard to beat around the bush, but like a lot of our stuff does come from a lot of very emotional experiences, a lot of stuff that we go through. Yeah. So a lot of it like a lot of it like relationship stuff, like we will joke about it like nowadays, but like during like at the time, like it was the end of our worlds. Like it was like
really.
And we were talking about like Through Your Eyes was like when I was in a very bad place, and you know, like when I was bringing up lyrics for Jason, and even like I think I was like the one who was like
the mind is always a dark lake.
Yeah, the mind is always a dark lake. What do you have to hide?
What do you have to hide?
So, like just like the entire concept of a lot of our music is a lot of our very personal showcasings. Like it's very like a lot of our songs, if not all of our songs, are us just being open books and just like letting everybody in on, you know, like what we went through. And I feel like at some point it's also like it's almost exhausting to the point of like having so much of, you know, that personal side like showcase. But at the same time, it's like, you know, we also are a band that's like, we don't want to hide anything from others, and we want everything to be organic, and it's but yeah, it's like all of our stuff it comes from those types of experiences.
Yeah, that's what makes us so different from like a lot of, I guess, punk bands around here. You know, they write about drinking and having a good time and being with their friends and stuff. And
cheese balls.
But
or Dunkin' coffee and cigarettes. That's I think what I heard in Neurotic the one time.
So like and then like that's why Ethan kind of says like earlier, like, you know, we're not Neurotic, we're not Cujo, we're not like, you know, we might help each other out, but we're not like cut from the same cloth.
No.
We're very very different. And you asked about the lyrical stuff, it gets dark. It gets really dark.
It really does.
And that's why like it's really tough to talk about sometimes about what our songs are really like about.
Yeah.
But just performing them, it's different performing. It rather than like explaining it, I guess you could say. And it's just because it's like it's put into an art form that's like fun to do, but when you really look into it, it's very, very different.
Yeah.
And like we could be performing through your eyes, you know, one of our darkest songs, or Tears Fall, and I'll be jumping around on stage like it's like friggin' 1999. But no, it's definitely dark.
Yeah.
Do tell. All right. Yes. So, guys, we are almost out of time. We actually talked over 2 hours right now, but here, let's actually jump through the last two fun questions right here real quick. So, just list what your favorite alcoholic drinks are, as well as favorite non-alcoholics, and then give a shout out to 3 bands, regardless if they're mainstream or independent.
I want to go last on this one.
Okay.
I'll go first then. So, not really an alcoholic guy, but whenever I do, it's
Dos Equis.
Whenever I do, it's either Jack Daniels or Budweiser. But friggin' Mountain Dew and water.
Mountain Dew and Dew Shine.
Mountain Dew, water, or actually Powerade lately. I love my sport drinks.
So for me,
I might want to take a bathroom break at this point.
So
forever.
Okay. I drink mostly any liquor mixed drink. If it has liquor in it, I'll drink it. Favorite though, I've been drinking a lot more electricities, but I am an old-fashioned person. I like my whiskeys. I like Crown Apple, but then non-alcohol, I do like my
non-alcohol.
Well, he said non.
I know, but I've never seen you drink anything that's non-alcohol.
Oh my god!
Exactly.
Go ahead.
So,
Sorry.
but for my non-alcohol, I like water.
Shout out H2O.
Shout out to H2O. But or at times I like my sodas and stuff, like Coke.
Cameron.
My favorite alcoholic drink is Midori Sour, and let's see, for non-alcoholic drinks, I really like water and ginger ale.
Hell yeah!
Simple.
Yeah, I'm a simple man.
Simple man.
What about you?
I like chocolate milk.
He's a child, I swear.
And what about alcohol, man?
I don't drink alcohol.
Straight edge.
I'm straight edge.
What
But
a good boy.
but yeah, chocolate milk, Ovaltine, is the way to go. Nesquik is not as great as Ovaltine. When it comes to chocolate milk from the bottle, Promised Land is really good. I really like Promised Land.
Keep it together. Keep it together.
Sorry.
You're good.
But I don't know other than chocolate milk. I don't really know. Tea. I've been really into tea. Arizona green tea, honey and ginseng diet. That's my go-to. I go through a gallon a day. It's insane. It really is. No, it really is. But it has been my absolute addiction, other than chocolate milk, which has been my addiction for a lifetime.
For birth.
Yeah, since birth. Swear to God, my first drink.
First thing he drank was chocolate milk.
Chocolate
No,
milk.
Apparently, his mother's titty actually had chocolate milk.
Yeah, I was literally gonna say, like, I don't think I was actually breastfed. I think I was actually just like
Fed chocolate milk.
Yeah, I think I was fed chocolate milk, and that was literally it. Some sort of chemical. I don't know if there was like ever like a chemical imbalance like growing up, but
Crack.
yeah.
Crack.
Bro's not straight edge. She actually cracked chocolate milk, man.
I guess so. All right. And just real quick, can you give a shout out to 3 bands you guys would consider your favorite, real quick?
I'll just go really quickly.
Mhm.
Fall Out Boy, always love Fall Out Boy. Breaking Benjamin and 3 Days of Grace.
Jason.
Oh, man. All right. Linkin Park, Deftones, Led Zeppelin. Locked in 3.
Oh, let's see. Shout out to Linkin Park. I will actually give a shout out to Cujo because I actually really do like their music,
Oh, yeah.
even if they're not popular. And shout out to Queen. I actually really enjoy their music a lot.
Hell yeah, Freddie Mercury.
Freddie Mercury, go to.
Hell yeah.
Shout out Periphery, obviously. Mark Holcomb. I didn't say it, but Mark Holcomb was my inspiration for playing guitar. Shout out the Contortionists, Michael Lesser, and Cameron Maynard. Trying to think of a third one. Shout out Boundaries because they're from Connecticut.
This guy's switching favorite bands every single day, I swear.
I swear to God, that's not even a lie.
Me too. I switch every day.
Hey, that happens. So,
Yeah.
to be a fight out of the music too. All right. All right. So, boys, we're down to one more question on my podcast right here. But before we jump into it, would you guys like to ask me any questions? We could just do one at a time if you guys got anything.
Yeah.
I guess I have a question. So I don't really know how long you've done this for, but like when you started doing this like podcast or so, what was your I guess your intentions? Like what was your goal when you did this first? Like interviewing, I guess, bands in general.
Well, it actually started out with just like drummers and like other people who play an instrument, like on YouTube, for instance, or posted some sort of things on Instagram or Facebook. And it started off there. It really was just a hobby, but it would be nice to make it a full-time job and get some sort of payment out of it eventually. But there was an enjoyment to it because I'm really a bad introvert, to say the least, because I had a real bad stint in sales, and that is a traumatizing experience, which I won't go into too much detail. So I just wanted to break out the mold, and hey, it was during COVID there too, so it's something to fill in the boredom, to say the least. So
Yeah, that's cool.
You guys have any questions?
No, but you know what? I actually want to congrats to you, man. That's awesome. Like, this is a good I don't know if it's like it probably has to be passion driven. So I mean, it's awesome that you do it, and I think that's what you're doing is really cool, and it definitely helps even us, Cujo, Neurotic, those bands that does help us, and I think that's really cool. So I want to thank you for that.
Yes, seriously, I thank you again for this in general.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. I'm trying to think of a question.
is Jason or Cam or?
Well, I know. Do you play? So I know you were talking about drumming. So that means you probably play drums. So what made you want to play drums?
You can thank Rock Band for that as a start. So it started with Rock Band. You eventually started doing the guitar at first because you think that's what chicks dig at first.
Yeah.
And then eventually I just decided to pick up the drums. And then after that, I was just hooked. My parents realized it wasn't just some fad that was just going to wipe over, to say the least.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, like if I wanted my own drum set. So we got an electric set. It's been rolling ever since. But it started off with just a beginner set. It eventually worked its way to a TD 25K, and now I'm rolling with a VAD 706.
Nice.
Awesome.
Okay.
That guy's experience.
All right, I thought of a question. How many bands have you interviewed in this career?
Not there yet, but
in this hobby.
to be honest, it used to be maybe because I was always like a little short of like filling in some videos here and there on my YouTube channel. I sometimes split them into 2 parts. So unfortunately, I think when you're seeing the playlist that I have on my YouTube channel, it will say like almost close to 300.
Yeah.
Wow. That's a lot.
Like you have stuff like planned for like months that I saw.
Yeah, I planned ahead. I pretty much got this all the way out to August right now. So
Oh, wow.
Wow.
Damn, Brood.
That's awesome.
Okay.
Well, I'm glad we got in when we got in.
Yeah, seriously.
Yeah.
but I also show it on Spotify, so you see it a few months early before it officially comes out on YouTube. So
Heck yeah.
Okay.
Shout out Spoofy, man.
Yeah.
all right, is there anything else?
Cameron, do you have any question?
I do not have any questions.
I think we're all set.
Yeah.
All right. So here's how we'll go. This time we'll do it in order so that no one's freaking out about it. But JC, you can start. Here's how the last question goes. So given a lot of negativity that's been kind of going on in the world these days, especially with what you guys have gone through in your lives, what sort of message of hope would you give to people who are perhaps going through something similar, whether they are musicians or not? So what will be your message of hope for those people?
You know, with my experience, it's really easy to say and very cliche to say, but the reason why it's cliche is because it's true, and it's just to never give up. You know, I've been there countless times, and it always gets better no matter what. And like I was one of those people that thought it never gets better, and it really did. It does. And you got to think about your family. You got to think about like the future and what you want to do. And you got to think about, you know, I say family, but I know everybody's family life is not the greatest, but that's why I say the future. You know, you're given a life for a reason, and you have to make it yours no matter what, no matter how hard it is. You have to try and grind and make it yours. And you have to really just hang in there and never give up. And that's where I am now. And I can't thank these boys enough for what they've given me.
Yeah, so it's like mostly it's kind of going like back to like what he said, like never give up. Tips and stuff for like people who are in the music business and stuff. I truly do agree with what he said. I think if you have problems or you want to deal with like stress and other stuff, write it down, make it into a song, like put something together. Because I know from a few songs that we've made, it's kind of like therapy in a way, as I think I've been told. And I've done that numerous of times for my own music and for our own music. For people who think they want to quit, I've been on a hiatus with the band, but for like maybe like a month. But it wasn't like I didn't see eye to eye at times. But I quickly came back because I was still passionate with the music that I wanted to do, and I wanted to be with the band. So I would say just if you see more downs than ups, just like wait it out. Like truly, if you want it, work for it. You will always get a award in the long run.
Yeah.
Because in the long run, from the time that we started, yes, it took us a long time to get EPs just to do them, but we got there. Yeah. We got a guitarist, we got a bassist, and we got in shows. And I knew we could. Just I think the biggest thing for people who think they're wanting, it's like, oh, this is not working. Do not quit. It will pay off, and that's like my biggest thing. Like it will pay off. Just you need to work not a little bit harder, but just you need to push yourself a little bit more to get to that spot where you really want to be. Because I'm at that now. I have a band I enjoy, and I've now been doing shows with them for what, 2 years?
A couple of years now.
A couple years. And I truly love it. And I never thought we would ever have a show because I never thought we were ready, but we were. Yeah. So I biggest thing, don't ever give up. That's all.
Mine is first of all, I would also just like, you know, before I do that, I want to like thank the band as well. It is truly a blessing because I grew up super close with Jason. I grew up super close with Cameron. Chandler, I'd say pretty close. Like he knows a lot of like my personal details.
We're working on it. We're working on it.
Yeah, we're working on it. Well, like again, my whole life with Jason, I've known Cameron since maybe since I've been 9.
Probably 11.
11.
No, 12 is when.
So
I really started to hang out.
So I was 8. I was 8. I was like.
I thought I was 7, but
it was like 8 or 7. But again, it truly is a blessing to be in a band with people that I've known for so. But even like with Chandler, like I feel like I've known him for so long. So it is truly a blessing. But one thing I'd say is like again, like there is always healthy and very productive ways to handle tough situations, and I feel like it's not looked at as very accessible for a lot of people, but there are truly a lot of people out there who, even though like maybe some people wouldn't think, but a lot of people do care about. But again, there are really healthy ways like how we do it here with music, and even like if you wanted to even like write stories, you know, be, you know, the next Stephen King or, you know, something like that. Like there are so many ways and so many different art forms out there, and you know, every single person in the world is very talented. I believe everybody has their own thing. Everybody has their you know, just their talents, and I believe that everybody has a lot of potential for anything. They can do anything if they really wanted to. So if they're out there and they don't think that, I believe that they should really look at themselves and really believe, and you know, look at the people who really care about them and really like, you know, look at how much they really mean to even just, you know, somebody who's maybe just an acquaintance. And just be like, you know, I believe that everybody has a huge impact. So I know like what I said is a lot of jumble, but it is I don't know. I feel very passionately about how everybody has potential. So I believe everybody should work and try to reach that.
So one thing that I want to say about it is like, there's always going to be someone out there that's going to be willing to listen to you, talk to you, help you through all your problems and stuff. Like I've had some low points in my life, and I've always come to like usually Jason to talk about my problems and stuff, because he's gone through similar experiences, and like just talking about it and stuff just helps me like feel better, like having known someone else has the same experience, or just even just talking about it and helping it get out there just makes me feel better. And like even if you're at a low point in your life, like there's so many things you can do to like get through it. You can find a new hobby that you enjoy, or you can just do something with it and try and keep your mind off of it with something fun that you find enjoyable or something fun to do.
Yeah.
All right. Man, spoke like a bunch of true prodigies.
Heard it from the best.
Oh, yeah. All right. So, boys, we talked a good over 2 hours and almost 25 minutes, actually, here. So, We made a damn movie out of this. So yeah.
Yeah, feature film, right?
A bunch of yappers, man.
All
of
the
you.
yappers.
Yeah.
This is what happens when you get a full band involved there too. So, yeah.
Real.
Yeah, these two over here mostly, right?
Oh, bro, you talk the most.
Me?
Yeah.
You're right.
He started off slow, and then he started picking up. So to be fair, so yeah.
Yeah.
But nonetheless, can you just tell everybody, I guess, what's your plans for this year? And I guess you guys got any shows and new music coming out?
Well, let me just say, April 18th, we got our show at Chubby Dog Gaming Bar in Danielson, Connecticut. You can come on down, listen to Cujo, CT, Neurotic, and then us. You can grab a iced chai. Yeah. I like the
cinnamon on top, man.
Vanilla chai.
Screw that.
He's
Man.
also got those awesome drinks there. The potions. He has alcoholic drinks too. You could rock out with those. And he said it earlier. It's not really super announced, but you'll get the exclusive here. June 7th, we're opening at the Particle Accelerator in Putnam, Connecticut. We're going to be it's like a mental health benefit thing.
Mm-hmm.
So it's really for a good cause. Come on down to that, hear us play, and a bunch of other great talented musicians are going to be there too. So it's going to be awesome.
Also, there's maybe a 4th of July show that we'll probably do.
Maybe.
And
but those are the two confirmed ones right now. We're trying to plan out some more for the rest of the year, but we'll cross that bridge when we get there.
Yeah, mostly I just would like to do a lot more shows. Most likely, I would love to play in Rhode Island as well. To be honest with you.
Beautiful state.
Beautiful
Very
state.
underrated.
If only the locals weren't jerks, to be honest. So,
Right.
right. There.
Mm-hmm.
And just real quick, what social media and streaming platforms are you guys on so I can check out your music and interact?
So we got we had some EPs on Spotify and Apple Music and all that, but we've recently taken those down. They might be back up, but actually on YouTube we still have those up. If you want to check those out, we're also on SoundCloud, and we'll be putting out a lot more and better music in the future too. Stuff that isn't rushed and
We really take our time. Man.
take our time and make it.
Yeah, Jason. So,
Yeah.
All right. But to close it like this, everyone, my guest today was Jason, Chandler, Ethan, and Cameron. And from up there in the state of Connecticut. They're part of the band Nameless. So go hit up all stream platforms, all social media and everything here too. It was a good fun-filled interview here too. So I had a blast.
Awesome.
Hell yeah. Awesome.
He's a great people here too. So God bless him and stay strong. So live long and prosper. We can do double this time. So
Hell yeah.
all right. So y'all stay safe.
Shit.
Rock
You too, bro. Thank you very much for having us.
all right. Real quick, I need a pose. Stay tuned, y'all.
Yo.